Last week on Your World.
In the 90s and the first decade of 2000, youth under 18 often accounted for half the population of some jails. Jails meant to imprison adults. You're going to meet a man who is saving lives and futures by creating young male development and mentoring programs that offer alternatives to incarceration and programs designed to help kids from ever falling into the system in the first place.
In my Saturday program, 20 young men in the program, 19 of them have committed an armed robbery. So what the courts have allowed me to do is to come in, intervene, and they have diverted the 20-year prison sentence to Next Level Boys Academy. This reminds me of a story of a young man who was the very first student in my diversion program. His name is Kimari Avery. I remember being in the courtroom when the judge was in the process of signing the paper to give him 20 years in prison. And I said to him that if you trust me, we're going to flip these 20-year prison sentence to 20 football offers. And he got 20 football offers.
What? To meet somebody like yourself, to know that God is not going to allow for a situation like this one in our society to go without having an apostle that'll be there. That's amazing to me, man. That's amazing to me. So if you're a parent, relative, or a mentor of a youngster or a teen who may have already gotten into trouble, or who may just be a step away from having their future disputed, then you'll want to watch this program very closely. I'm Creflo, and this is Your World.
Changing one life, time after time. Oh Lord, we do it all for you.
Through the trials I see, I'll always believe a new life starts with me. Oh,
Change your world today. Change is gonna come your way. Change and gain an understanding. His grace will transform you.
Welcome back. Now, our next guest is a young man who went to prison in 2015 at the age of 17. He was released 4 months ago and has been a part of Gary Davis' Next Level Boys Academy since his release. Now, today he's here to talk about the experience of being a teen in an adult prison. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Jalen Gregory to Your World. We called this show Your World, and I'd like for you to take us into your world. What was it like? Lead us up to where you were incarcerated, lead us up to where you found out about Gary and this program, and then bring us to where you are right now. In other words, tell us your story.
Well, my name is Jalen Gregory. I'm 19 years old. I went to prison when I was 17, but before then, I was an athlete, like everyone else, like an athlete. I love to draw. I still love to draw, you know what I'm saying, an artist. But I was just a young man who I had guidance, you know what I'm saying. My mother was there, my father wasn't, but she was both, you know what I'm saying. But it's just, I always wanted to see what the other path was like.
The other path of what, crime?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, crime.
And why'd you want to see that?
And it just that wasn't around me. When I left my mom, when I went out the house, that's where I was at, crime. So that's what I fed into. And when it happened, when I got introduced to that life, it's just like I was stuck, I couldn't get out.
Jalen, were you also searching for camaraderie, a sense of family, a sense of value? You know, the guys you would hang with, you felt valued being a part of their group, even though it was going to end up doing something that was criminal?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about what happened and how you got put in prison.
Well, I got locked up for armed robbery when it was November 6, 2015, got locked up for armed robbery. I was walking, I just got out of work from my first job, my first ever job. The first night at my first job, I just got out of work that night. I walked to the gas station, and while I was in the gas station, a older female was in front of me getting the money ground. So when I seen the money, it just brought me back to what I knew, you know what I'm saying, robbing. And so when I started following, I robbed her that night. And after that, that night, when I robbed her, she called the police and I got locked up on the scene. And that was November 6, 2015. And after that, it was just all hell broke loose. It was like, when I went in jail, I ain't never just sat in jail, been in jail. That was like my first time in big boy jail, treated as an adult. You know what I'm saying? It was like a different world. It was just a different world. Like.
So when you said that when you saw the money, it really kind of got your attention to do what you had been exposed to doing all that time, and that was when I see money, because you had a job.
Yes, sir.
But when I see money, I need to, there's something in me that says I need to rob you and take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like drugs when, you get an urge to want to hit it.
Exactly, that's what it was.
So would you go as far as to say it felt like an addictive behavior?
It was.
Yeah.
It most definitely was, yes, sir.
Yeah. And of course, you probably wouldn't say that in a court of law, right? You wouldn't go and say, well, dude, I feel like I got an addiction for robbing people. But, we're smiling, but Gary, that may be a reality. What do you think?
I totally agree. It's an addiction. And it's also something that if I see it all the time and I hear it and it looks so fun and easy, and when your mind is so young and so vulnerable, it's going to attract you. Just like seeing an athlete on television or to see your favorite actor. So it's just in his environment at that time, that was the hottest thing that was going out. That's what everybody was talking about.
I've always thought that even in the drug scene, it should have been treated more as a medical issue than a criminal issue. Medical issue, I used to be a former therapist, medical issue because there's an addictive behavior behind that, and what would have happened if we'd have treated it as a medical issue versus a criminal issue. And so you look at the number of blacks that are in jail over a drug issue, and we never once settled to say maybe there's some addictive behavior associated with this that we need to deal with. Maybe there's a medical issue here. And it's not too far away from what Jalen's talking about right now.
Absolutely.
Because of the exposure, because of the environment, because of that young mind being exposed to this at this particular time, and now he finds himself in court and facing these charges. And I hear the other side. I get the other side. You should get a job and you shouldn't, interfere and rob somebody else's. I get all of that. But you have more of a solution-oriented approach where I think our society is more of a let's punish the criminal, let's get him off the streets, and we've done our job. We used to refer to prison as correctional facilities.
Absolutely.
Are they correcting anything? Doesn't
No.
appear to me like there's much correction going on.
No.
So Jalen, tell us about it. You're sitting in there for the first time. They put charges on you. You're now a teenager in adult prison. What happens when the sentence comes down to you?
When I found out the sentence, it was shocking, you know what I'm saying? But nobody can prepare you for, you know what I'm saying, prison or jail period. So it was just like, this is what I did, the consequence is what I got to face, you know what I'm saying? I did it, but once I got in that environment, it was just a whole different world, like nobody can prepare you for it, especially as a teen, you know what I'm saying? Like, saying your mind not developed, even you know what I'm saying, just to be around all these adults, and it's just a war zone, really. It's a war zone too.
Let's talk about the emotions of that whole deal. Fear.
Fear.
Or what were you afraid of in the prison?
Being killed.
Okay. Some other emotions. You're afraid.
Afraid. I had disappointment, like I let my family down, I let my mother down, you know what I'm saying?
So shame.
Shame, guilt. Then it was feeling like I was out here doing all of this for someone out here in the streets to know me and want to, you know what I'm saying, just for my name to be known. Then it's like when you sitting there and it reality hits, like, was it worth it?
Yeah, so significance. You were searching for significance, and you can't believe you did that just to try to get somebody to value you.
Yes.
And had there been a father in the house or some kind of mentor around, somebody that would show up at the games, somebody that would give you a hug, tell you that you cared about them and all that, do you think that would have made a difference?
I think so, but at the same time, it's still, life's all about choices.
Yeah, and that's the lesson we learn. It is about choices. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what we're saying. When you make bad choices, there's a bad consequence for those bad choices. But I think, Gary, it's also important that we can trace it back to some of those issues that are responsible for those choices that we make.
Yes.
Do you believe that if we could have a better environment that would cause us to make better choices?
Yes, environment is important. And one thing that I've learned in mentoring is that, and I try to be careful with a lot of these young men, is that I try to mentor them in a mindset or in a way that don't make these decisions in these communities that I don't live in. So my thing is get yourself busy. And in Jalen's case, he has a very, if I can remember vaguely about his report when I interviewed him, because my first time meeting him, he was locked up in a county jail, city jail, and he later went to a state prison. But one of the things with him is he had good resources in his life. Mm-hmm. I think that he was not patient with life. And that is one of the things I'm teaching him now, is that if you just become patient, it's going to happen. I didn't accomplish, to be honest, and I say this to him, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life until I turned 35 years old. So teaching him to be patient, I think he had a sense of urgency. He was definitely associated with the wrong crowd. But even if he had a male in his life, the interesting thing is, how much do you respect that male? Because we all got a man somewhere around, but it's the level of respect and how to gain respect, how to get a young man to respect you.
That's good.
There's a process to that.
Yeah.
There's a system to that. And I knew he had major trust issues just interviewing him in jail behind a thick wall. So I knew they was going to send him off to prison for a couple of years and send him back to me. But I had to build a rapport with this young man because I know that if he was an athlete, there was someone connected to him. But he had a trust issue, and I had to get him to trust me.
Yeah. You mind talking to us about that trust issue?
Part of it had to do with the streets, but another part was like, I'm the youngest out of my brother and my sister, three of us. And it was like, I was always with them. So like when they went out to college, it was just like, I'm stuck here by myself. Then it was the friends in the neighborhood. Then when they left, it was just like, okay, everybody keep leaving. I keep getting close to these people, everybody keep leaving. I'm just not gonna get close to nobody no more. Then when I jumped out in the street, it was like, that's definitely not where you have trust. It's just like, it's a cold world. Like you just
Don't trust nobody. Yeah.
Because trust gets you killed, it gets you hurt. When I met Mr. Gary Davis, it was just like, I was on the edge of trusting him. Then it was just like, where I was like on the verge. This was why I recently got out. I was on the verge of just jumping back out there because it was like, I'm waiting on him, I ain't getting no results. It's taking forever, I ain't getting no results. So when I called him one day, I was just tired. I ain't had no money in my pocket, I ain't had no job. I was just like, I can't just be saying like this. So I was about to go rob or commit another crime. Until I called him, he answered the phone, give me about 30 minutes, I come get you. I called him back again, I can't wait. He pulled up right then, and when he did that, that just established our relationship. That he can just leave his job.
That's good. Now you got somebody who cares, somebody who's proven that he cares. Mm-hmm. And you know he's pulling for you.
Well,
and it's like his nourishment is your success. That's right. And I mean,
absolutely.
You're nourished. You know, what gets him going, what nourishes him is your success. Would you agree that you owe him, but you owe him success? Because the only thing he's gonna charge you is success. You owe me success. You owe me getting a job. You owe me becoming disciplined at achieving your goals. You have a great example, someone you can follow, and you owe me the opportunity of what he has done for you, you be willing to do it for somebody else. Sometimes the greatest way to learn a lesson is to become the teacher and the instructor to someone else that's just like you were. And I just want to really encourage you. I don't want you going and yielding to this little, you got a little angel on this side and got a little demon on this side, and angel's like, no, don't do it. And the demon like, do it, and do it, you do it. No, please don't do it. And as weird as that sounds, it's like, shut this dude down over here, man, because you have a life that's gonna benefit somebody that you may know or may not know right now, but your life, it's valuable to me. It's valuable to Gary. It's valuable to your family. And, we don't want you in a system around a bunch of adults thinking that the only way to achieve in this life is that old way. There are lots of things that you can do. You say you like to draw.
Okay.
Well, right now, there are people that need graphic artists. And you can take that same thing, start off graphic artist, and you're starting off $50,000, $60,000 a year, coming up with that very creativity that you have in your mind. So guys 17, 18, 19 years of age, what do you think the number one issue to their life of crime?
Justification from somebody else. They want to feel valued.
Wow.
They want that other person they look up to call them little bro or little brother, or just, take the money and win. Like, come on, you're gonna be with me, you can run with me.
What you're sharing is bringing big insight. I need you to understand that there are millions of people that are gonna watch this. I'd like for you to do one thing for me, if I could. That's your camera right there. I want you to speak to somebody that was in your situation, or somebody that might be presently in a situation, somebody that's thinking about robbing, somebody that's thinking about doing something crazy, and I want you to give them advice.
Well, the advice I'm gonna give you is be yourself. Like, just because everybody not on their wave of doing what you're doing, they make you unique. You know what I'm saying? They make you stand out. That's where I went wrong. Like, I started putting my talent to the side, because this not what's getting me noticed, what they doing getting them noticed. So I want to do that now, which would make people want to do what you're doing. Set an example and just set goals in life.
To be able to get somebody to open up and give us answers about the teenagers that are in our lives, and to begin to look at that, and I think he said some very significant stuff here today. But the one that just hit me, value. That's got to be the truth. Value. Gary told me that he's done this for the last 9, 10 years with no financial support from anybody. And I'm saying to him today, I want to be a partner with him. I want to be a partner with what you're doing. I want to be a partner with what you're doing. You stick with this man, and you do not have to resort to robbing people to try to get it. You can have your own, and you can be prosperous. And then when you raise your kids, you'll have a story to tell, and you want to help somebody else. All I see sitting here with me is success. That's all I see. That's all I see. And you got a story to tell. And what you said to that camera is going to help some folks, and they're going to remember your face. And I'm telling you, man, you don't have to be like what you've come out of. You today have been the model for somebody else out there on the other side of the camera. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Man, I can't wait to partner with you. Again, I'm excited, thrilled. I really didn't know if this opportunity was gonna come my way again. And you being here on this show, I got to be a part of what you're doing. And maybe those of you who are watching, today you want to be a part of what Gary is doing. In fact, we're going to put an address up on the screen if you'd like to contact him personally. This is really, really big. And if we can impact the lives of young black men who are experiencing adult prison as teenagers, if we can do something to stop that, then we rescue not only that individual, but a whole community, a whole society. I'm saying either you be a part of the solution or you will be a victim of the problem. You have to make the decision. I'm just excited about this show, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't go back. Press forward. If you have a rough day, go to bed, get up. Go to bed, get up. Like you say, get a job, stay busy doing the positive things. And sometimes you just have to make a decision. I can't hang with you no more, bro. I mean, it's not good for me. And if you want to go where I'm going, you're welcome, but I'm not going to go where you're going. It's just not going to happen. And so whatever that feeling is that comes up that says, rob somebody, that's how you can get it. You'll get noticed, all right, but you get noticed by people you don't want to be noticed. You're noticed by the judge, noticed by the sheriff. You don't want to get noticed by those people. Make good decision. A decision is an open door into reality. And so you're responsible for making that decision. And when you make that good decision, there are good things that'll follow. And so it's not over until it's over. You had a little bump in the road, you're out. Let's go on and make something happen, man. Do some positive things. Yeah. I'd like to present to you guys something, and I do this, every now and then because I think it's something that I'd like to give you to remember our time here on the show today, which has really been a blessing to me. And it reads like this. It's a grace covenant, and it certifies that I, Jalen Gregory, I believe that Jesus loves me and nothing will ever change that. I believe that grace in the person of Jesus Christ has already provided everything I will ever need to have a healthy, fulfilling, and prosperous life. I believe everything in my past is in my past. Jesus has chosen not to remember it, neither will I. I will daily proclaim I'm the righteousness of God. I will daily live by the belief of understanding grace, empowering change to better equip myself for success and to better serve those individuals around me. I will daily flood my life with the word of God and the praises of his saints. And I signed this, and Jalen, I'd like for you to put your name right above that area that says the righteousness of God. And every time you think about doing something crazy, go read that.
Absolutely.
According to the Center for Disease Control, treating juveniles as adults in the criminal justice system has produced the unintended effect of increasing and promoting criminal activity in youth. Children need love, support, and guidance. Now, my announcer is going to share with you some very special resources that I've put together that can help you help the young men and women in your life lead productive, faith-filled lives guided by God's grace. Watch this.
On today's program, Creflo Dollar took an insightful look at the problem of youth incarceration, its causes and consequences, and how some organizations, like Next Level Boys Academy and advocates like Gary Davis, are working to find alternatives to prison and jail sentences for youth offenders. Creflo Dollar's personal mission is to be part of the solution to this problem. These young men are our future, and to ensure our future is in good hands, Creflo and his ministry are committed to transforming communities and strengthening families through various local, national, and international outreach programs. Today, you can be a part of that change. Today, you can take a step forward by making a difference in the lives of the boys and young men around you who are in crisis. Creflo Dollar has assembled a collection of resources to help you empower those around you and to help you protect your future generation. The collection includes the compelling series, The Perfect Definition of Manhood, where biblical principles on how to be a man are unraveled. During this impactful session, you'll learn step by step everything you need to help develop your man. A son, a nephew, a grandson. or strengthen the relationship with your husband, or discover how to become a better husband. You'll also receive the series The Power of the Inner Man, where Creflo discusses the truth about the power that resides in our recreated spirit and how to get that power to work for us. Both series are available right now for your tax-deductible gift of $35. Now is the time to set the course of the lives of the men around you on the right track. But that's not all. Creflo wants you to be further inspired and encouraged, so he wants to send you the full interview on DVD in its entirety, completely unedited. So you'll get the Perfect Definition of Manhood series and the Timely Power of the Inner Man series, all for your love gift of only $35 or more. And as an added bonus, Creflo will also include the uncut and complete Your World interview with Gary Davis. And remember, your tax-deductible gift today to the ministry allows Creflo Dollar and his missions teams to not only share the message of God's grace, but also demonstrate God's love and grace in a very tangible way to people who so desperately need it here and around the entire world. This is a limited time offer. Call now to receive this one-of-a-kind bundle for only $35 or more. Now is the time to correct the course that you and your family are on. Now is the time for a better future.
If there's something going on in your world today and you need help, or if you know someone who needs help, please reach out and connect with us online for more information about what can be done to move your life from struggle to victory. Stay connected with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and know that I'd love to hear your story. Remember, God's love and grace are sufficient and that you were born to win. I'll see you next time right here on Your World.
Come on, shout it to the Lord with a voice of
And I decree in this place today that it's your time to be loose, to be set free from bondage, from intimidation, from inferiority. I declare you be loose in Jesus' name.
Thank you, partners and friends. Your love and financial support makes it possible to bring this message into millions of homes all across the globe.